Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and this is how to make a bow part 2. This one I've got this very round full bow, and you won't believe how easy all of these are to do. This one is made with pieces of ribbon, as is this, and then there's your curly bow. So if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. This bow is incredibly easy to make. It takes only a couple of steps, and it's always really round and really full. Okay, this is one of the very first bows that I ever learned to make, and I mean, it's so easy. There's really nothing to it. You need some, I like wire edged ribbon. I always have, but all you want to do is you want to make a loop, and it all depends on how big you want this bow, and then you're just going to keep going around. Do this until you get it as thick as you like it. And I've got this, let's see, 1, 2, 4, I'm going to do 5. I like odd numbers. It always seems to turn out better. Okay, there's your end. So you want to bring this down. And I'm going to cut this off, and this will be used for tails later. Okay, we're going to flatten this out. And we're going to cut a small V. And you don't want to go all the way to the center. You just want to take a little bit, and you want to try and get this right in the center of your loop. And there you go. Now you want to take a chenille stem, and you try to get the color to be very similar to the ribbon that you're using, and that way it kind of disappears. You're just going to twist it, and you're going to pull the loops out, and take your time. Do one on each side. And these bows always turn out round. Well, very round, and not 100% round, but very round. But you want to go each layer separately. And these are good for if you're going to add little things to the bow, like little berries or little ornaments, or and your excess ribbon you would just put down. And of course, you know me, I've got to dovetail the ends. And there you go. And if you're going to put this on a gift, okay, on to the next. These are really easy to make, a little time consuming, but they are easy, and these can be made as big as you need. Okay, for this one, what you need is some cardstock, a ruler, pen, scissors, some ribbon, some little decorations. These are the snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, which you guys know by now I love. I've got some little red berries. You could use little jingle bells. You can use any tiny little things to decorate this with. And you need a hot glue gun and a lot of hot glue sticks. Okay, the first thing I did was folded this in half and cut it. And then I came down 2.5 inches and made a line to cut this off. Then I went to the center of this, and I wanted this a 1/2 inch wide. So this is a 1/4 inch on each side. And then from the outside of this, I marked down to the corner. And this is what I got. Okay, now that I have that done, and I'll put this up again a little closer so you can see what I did. But it's pretty self-explanatory. The bigger the package, the bigger you make this. Okay, then the next thing that I did was got a ruler. And I don't know if you can see those marks on here, but all I did was mark every 2 inches. And then I cut them, which gave me 2-inch long pieces of ribbon. Now this ribbon is 7/8 inches wide, which is another reason why I wanted the top of this to be a 1/2 inch. That way it's going to cover it up. So I've already cut a yard of this in the 2-inch pieces. And I'm just going to set this aside. But you mark that. See that mark? I hope you can. And we're just cutting. And if I need more, I'll cut more. A yard is plenty to get started with for the size that I'm doing. I remember one Christmas we were giving our son a television, and try to find a bow big enough for that. I mean, you're going to go through a lot of ribbon. So that's why I made this one. And it has worked out perfectly for large packages ever since. Okay. Now what you're going to do is put this shiny side down, and we're going to come up here up, since this is 2 inches and once it's folded it'll be 1 inch, we're going to come up about a 1/2 inch. And the first one is going to go over the side just a little bit, because we're going to close in. By doing it this way, we close in the outside. And I'm going to continue this all the way across. Okay, I have the bottom layer done. And now I'm just going to come back in at the top of these ribbons and fold this up. And it's a whole lot easier to do when you're not holding the glue gun in your hand. And you're going to repeat that all the way across. Okay, I got the first row done. Now the second row I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up about 1/2 inch. And start another layer. And of course I'm going to be doing the same thing I did on the first one. After I get the first row done, I'm going to loop it over. And I'm going to continue that all the way up. Okay, I've got this pretty much filled up, but for the last one, I'm going to glue the ends together. And I'm going to do this one upside down. And I'm going to repeat with another one. And what this does is gives the end a rounded finish, and you don't have those raw edges. And there it is so far. And of course you could always put a trunk on there with some brown ribbon or whatever. I'm not going to bother. But I'm going to add this little snowflake right here in the center to cover where the two edges met. And it covers the glue. This actually doesn't look too bad just as it is. But what I'm going to do is take some of these berries and glue them in and around and I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, and there it is all done. And all I would do is put a little bit of double stick tape on the back, and that fills up an awful lot of room. Okay, if you're looking for a variation of that, what I did was traced around the ribbon container, and then I cut it out, and I cut out a little bit in the center, and then I just started gluing ribbon on the inside, just the inside. You can see this space here. All I'm going to do is add a ribbon right there in the center. And this is another one where you can make it as large as you want. You can have as many rows of this as you need. And you don't have to leave it as just a wreath. You can put something behind it like a picture, or you could make this a like the gift card where you would put to and from in it, or just leave it as is. I'm going to be leaving it as is. And we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, I've got the layers on, and I don't know if you can see this because this is satin ribbon, is a tendency to fray sometimes. So you just take would help if you wait until the glue is dried. But you just take a lighter and seal the edges of the ribbon. And you can add little beads or little berries. You could add a small red bow, whatever you want. But this is just another idea to put on a package. And I think I may have to glue a picture to the back of this, because this can not only be used as in place of a bow or a to and from tag, but it can also be a really cute ornament with a picture in the center of it. I'll be back when I decide what I'm doing with that. Well, I found an angel that was on a Christmas card, and I glued that to the back side, and now that is going to be either an ornament or a package decoration. So yeah, I like that. The curly bow, one of the easiest there is to make. Okay, what you need for this is curling ribbon, a roller, pair of scissors. The first thing you're going to do is take some of your curling ribbon and you're going to cut it at 12 inches long. Okay, I cut 2 of each color, each 12 inches long. And what I'm going to do is tie this in the center, which is the 6-inch mark. And I know a lot of people will tape these or staple them to cardstock. This is the way my mom taught me. I'll just give it a good tug. And then with the on the underside of your ribbon, with a pair of scissors, that silver and the white really look alike, one at a time. You just want to give it a gentle tug with your thumb on one side of the scissor, or one side of the ribbon, and the scissor on the other. And that's all there is to it. Now if you do the wrong side, it's going to stay pretty straight. So you want to do the underside. And it's easy to tell on the colored ones. And here, I'll show you. The red. See, it's all nice and glitzy on the one side, but plain on the other. You want the scissors to go on the plain side. And you just keep doing that to every one of them. And I'll be back after I get them all done. Okay, I've got them all curled. And you can see how tiny it is now. So if you're going to really make these so they go on big packages, you can make them 24 inches, 28 inches, really as long as you want, except that if you make them too long, you will get kind of tangled when you're trying to curl them. But this can be hot glued, this can be tied, this can be taped to your package, and you can do several of them and put them together. Put them upside down, they'll curl up that way. Put them down and they curl this way. And there they are, all done and all ready to be put on packages. And like I said, they were easy to make. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.